Sports.
We are pleased as always to be bringing you coverage of the National Football League on EA Sports. Today it's week 4 and we've got what should be a great one here between the Minnesota Vikings and the New Orleans Saints. Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. CD, you look at the Vikings coming into play. Their offense is one that doesn't rely too heavily on just one guy. They like to split. Seems like we were just starting training camp, but here we are in October, and off we go on EA Sports.
Free kick out of bounds.
Wishing he had a mulligan. That's not how you want to start the game.
Not at all, because not only do you give up the penalty and good field position, but it just kills the momentum of your team as you start a game.
Winston to give, it's Kamara. And slow going there as he'll only get a yard, maybe, up to the 41. So this game here in London, the first of 5 games in the NFL International Series for 2022. We'll see the Giants and Packers here next week. Broncos and Jags at Wembley at the end of the month. The Seahawks and the Bucs, that'll be in November in Munich, Germany. First time a game's been held there. And then we wrap up down in Mexico City, November 21st. Cardinals and Niners from Estadio Azteca. On 2nd and 9. Winston, and he's got the hook up to Landry. They'll wind up getting 7 on the play. And now that sets up 3rd and 2. They'll come to the line, needing only 2 yards to gain the first here. Here's Kamara trying to run for it. And some room to maneuver. Nifty move. And he's going to get this all the way down to the 2 before he's wrestled out. 51 yards rushing for him as he's got the afternoon off to a great start. A terrific opening drive has them knocking on the door. 1st and goal. To throw is Winston. And his pass incomplete.
They'll definitely say that that's one he should have held on to. But when you're playing in elements like this, sometimes those bullet passes, those ones with a little bit of pace on them, they can be difficult to hold on to.
Kamara is into the end zone for a Saints touchdown. And they do exactly what they wanted to. Opening drive, they get into the end zone. They do it on the ground.
And not only is the person lugging the ball happy, of course, because he got it into the end zone. How about the offensive linemen and receivers who are blocking for him? They have to feel great about themselves, sticking it in the end zone on a running play.
A good hold in these wet conditions. The point after is up and good, and it's now a 7-0 game. After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. Kene Nwangwu now out of his end zone. And he's going to be out of bounds here right at the 20-yard line. The Vikings offense coming out for the first time, and in his 5th season leading this crew, coming off his 3rd career Pro Bowl nod, Kirk Cousins.
Well, he did go 2-2 in the last ball game. Well, actually, he went 2-2-1, with the 1 being the victory.
Yeah.
That's the bottom line there. But wasn't it funny at practice? He threw one when we were watching, threw an interception, and the defense got on him a little bit, good-naturedly. But they're letting him know, you got to cut down those interceptions. We can't bail you out all the time.
Yeah, 2 touchdowns, 2 picks. But as you said, they got the win in that effort last week. And he will lose yardage on the play, back at his own 19-yard line. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
That was a good illustration of setting the edge as a defensive end, being able to make sure that you stay on your feet no matter what type of block, and you're not going to get pushed inside. Stayed home, skated to the outside, and made the play.
On 2nd down, it's Cook again. And once more, this play going in the wrong direction. The Saints get to him behind the line again. It'll go as a loss of a yard, so now they deal with 3rd and 11.
Overall, I'd have to say that was just really good team defense because, to me, you can't pin that one on the running back. He had no shot there. He had a man in his face immediately.
So time to start going in the other direction as they come up now 3rd and long. Off the play fake, Cousins out to his left. In trouble here, and down he goes. Back at the 8-yard line. Marcus Davenport. Flounder out of UTSA with a sack. And whistle blown. A timeout here is taken, and it's taken by... They'll have... As we step aside here in this first quarter. And here's Ryan Wright now, as his first punt will come from inside his own end zone. He only punted twice in the win last week as he gets this one away. And a fair catch is called for. He will take it in to give his guys some excellent field position here. It's just a 30-yard punt that time, no return. And the Saints will have a short field in front of them. They take over here, 1st and 10. Now a first down carry. It's Kamara. And he'll take this one down to about the 40. Defensively, Harrison Phillips there to stop him. This defense for the Vikings, they were terrific a week ago in that win over Detroit.
They sure did, and the key number to me was total offense allowed, which was barely over 100 yards. That's a heck of a sign that this defense is really putting all the pieces together and doing it cohesively.
And he's got some space here. He'll get it inside the 20. And he will reach the 8-yard line before going out. A big play there on the catch and run. 32 yards.
It's not a surprise when you read scouting reports and watch tape because you know he's a heck of a player. But he is so difficult to get down in the open field. They just want to get him the ball and let him do his thing.
The chain gang hustling to catch up. Here's 1st and goal from just inside the 10. To throw, Winston. Dancing to his left. And a dangerous throw there on the drop-off. Incomplete, nearly intercepted.
Well, he certainly did a nice job improvising there, extending the play, hoping someone would come open downfield, but they never did.
Nothing on first down, so the ball remains at the 8-yard line, 2nd and goal. Here's Winston. To the sideline, and wow, what a catch there. He doesn't get a lot, but he was able to get the feet down complete. Only able to pick up 2, and that leads us to 3rd and goal. Again, it's Winston. He's left with no option here but to throw it away.
Oh, that's going to hurt a bit because they needed to come through with a completion there. Now a drive that started with great field position is facing 4th down.
The kick by Lutz is good, and that will extend their lead even further. So a touchdown on their opening drive and 3 more here, and it adds to their first quarter lead.
Yeah, everything's going according to plan so far because the offense has moved the ball, defense able to do their job, and here the special teams unit comes through with their contribution. A field goal to make it 10-zip.
And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback. The Vikings taking the field here for their 2nd drive of the game. They'll look to get something started. They need to, down 10-0 early as they've got it 1st and 10. Now Cousins here on the bootleg. They'll roll him out right. And that is incomplete.
As soon as I saw him break contain and get outside, my first thought and my eyes gravitated downfield because nowadays, most of these quarterbacks, When they do that, they want the big play downfield. They don't want to throw it short. In this case, he took the shot. It fell incomplete.
No gain on that one as it brings up a 3rd and 10.
Well, sometimes it's hard to take your eyes off this guy at the linebacker position. He can really cover some ground, and he did there to make that play.
On 3rd down, Cousins. And he's taken down here by the Saints. Marcus Davenport, now 2 sacks for him already here in this first quarter of play.
I remember when I was a kid and all I wanted was a nickel so I could get that soda down at the fountain. And guess what? The nickel came into play well. 5 defensive backs, they covered well, allowed for the sacks.
Sodas were a nickel when you were a kid?
No, I just needed the extra nickel so I could pay the proper price.
Okay, how much were they? A dime? What were they?
15 cents.
The offense and Alvin Kamara heading back onto the field. First month of the season, those numbers pretty solid. Does he continue that?
I think so, because when you come out of the gate this strong, that means that you have planned for it and you like the results that you're getting. So I wouldn't have any doubt that the head coach or offensive coordinator actually called him in and said, look, you're...
And the pressure gets there, and Winston goes down. Daniil Hunter charging hard from that linebacker spot, and he drops him for a loss of 11.
Well, last game he had 2 sacks. Got another one here, picked up right where he left off.
Brandon, he spent the entire offseason working on new moves, new techniques, trying to add to his arsenal of pass rush moves. Certainly paying dividends in what we've seen so far.
And that'll hurt the average a bit as this time they're able to get him behind the line. Just a 1-yard loss that time, but that's not what they needed. Now they're dealing with a 3rd and long.
This defense is a difficult one to prepare for, one of the best in the league. They'll come at you from all angles, and they did a nice job there stopping him for a loss.
And some secondary help here for the defense in the nickel on 3rd and long. Nothing the score after 1 on EA Sports. The Saints with a football here to begin quarter number 2, as they've got it with a 3rd down and long coming up. Now Winston. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
They certainly had good starting field position on that drive, but couldn't do anything with it after 3 plays. Have to admit that that's a disappointing end to excellent field position. When that drive started, they had 6 points that they were thinking about.
2 fantastic games coming up to wrap up Week 4, the first weekend in October. Tonight, the Chiefs and Buccaneers from Tampa. That's a rematch of Super Bowl 55, of course. And then Monday night, rematch of last year's NFC Championship game, the Rams and Niners from Santa Clara. Coverage on that one, 8:15 Eastern.
A very solid gain of 27.
Certainly no settling into the drive there. They came right out on the first play and attacked the middle of the field for a big gainer and a first down.
And good penetration here. He'll get this down only to about the 49-yard line. Marcus Davenport there to take him down. Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run.
Well, the Vikings had 2-1 now to start the campaign, and they moved back above 500 with a victory last week.
And you look at their start, a win, a loss, then a win. This might be something we see from them a lot this year, because when they're at their best, they can play with anybody. But bringing their best every week, that's been a challenge thus far.
Throwing, Cousins. Oh, this will be incomplete. The rush gets home just as he was letting that go. That could have been worse. Instead, it's 4th down. Problems on 3rd down so far in this first half. Relatively small sample size, but they're now 0 for 3.
And the average in the league, somewhere around 40% on 3rd down for offenses. So what's the answer to this? Either convert them or don't get the 3rd down in the first place. Get your big chunks of yards on 1st and 2nd down.
Now Cousins on 4th down. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. The Vikings.
convert here on fourth. And this defense will take over right near midfield at the 49-yard line. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started.
Obviously not the intended goal last drive. They had to punt the football, but still, they've got the lead here, and now a chance to add on to that lead if they can get points on this drive. 1st and 10 upcoming.
It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4. 2 minutes gone by, second quarter. On 2nd down, Kamara. And some room to roam now. And now look at this. Big gain, but a fumble. But this will get out of bounds, so possession will stay the same.
Thankfully for the offense, a fortuitous bounce there on the fumble goes out of bounds because they're down here in the red zone. You don't want to lose one there.
You don't want to lose one, and the best part, because it went out of bounds, they retain possession, still have an opportunity.
And he's got it. It's caught in the end zone. Touchdown, New Orleans. Jarvis Landry, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And his guy's now an extra point away from taking a 3-score lead. Lutz will look to add the extra point. He's got it, and it's 17-0. Scoring summary, 3-play drive.
And it's Jarvis Landry who finishes it off with a touchdown reception.
After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. By rule, that comes out to the 40-yard line, so a good opportunity for this offense with solid field position.
Well, you don't see that often. He just mishit it, and it goes out of bounds.
Well, I know sitting up here, and I'm looking at you, and you're looking at me, and I know we're both thinking the same thing. Isn't it easy enough to keep it between the sidelines? Because unless you're intentionally doing it for some reason, well, that's a costly mishit, and now you put your team in a bad spot.
The first play of the drive there is incomplete.
Well, I certainly thought he had an open look beyond the first down marker to his receiver, but they just couldn't connect, and that will send them back to the drawing board.
On 2nd down, Cook.
And only a couple for him there as the tackle is made at the 42.
The Vikings on 3rd down. 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. This is 3rd and 8. To throw, Cousins. Looking for Thielen, but it's intercepted. Picked off by the corner, Bradley Roby.
And the Saints are going to take over here up near the 40.
The struggles continue here offensively. Still nothing for them on the scoreboard, and now an interception.
Yeah, the offense looks extremely sluggish, not really in sync at all. Dare I say, it looks like it got left behind in customs.
Oh, you've had that in your back pocket. You were waiting for that.
Probably should have left it in my back pocket, too.
Well played.
95 yards rushing for him as he has been tough to stop here this first half.
Well, he's broken off some big-time runs here in this first half.
Yeah, and let's just face it. When you go into a game, you think you've got the plays that are going to work, but when you actually get out there and they're starting to happen, your confidence rises, and he's running with terrific ability right now.
And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. It'll be a Saints first down on a pickup of 13.
For a lot of guys playing this game, there's no better feeling than running right through a tackle. He's able to lower his center of gravity and turn his legs for a really nice pickup.
Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on first down. Play action now, Winston. Looking long for Thomas. And it's incomplete. Took it. Connect. An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Jameis to throw it. And this one taken in on the right sideline, but not in the field of play. They say it's incomplete. The throw led him a little too far. It brings up 3rd down.
I think he could have scanned downfield forever, but there wasn't anything available. Ends up throwing an incompletion, and I think he'll take that.
On 3rd down, Winston. To the right side, and he's got Landry complete. And this play comes to a halt at the 33, and obviously that's well short of the first down.
Winston to the sideline here on 4th down, and Will Lutz gets set for a New Orleans field goal try.
That's running out of steam, and it won't get there. He left it just short. No good.
Always disappointing when you miss a field goal, but when you're playing against a defense this good, you and I both know that's a crucial miss because you can't afford to leave any points out there. You've got to take them when you can.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And this not an easy situation. You're down early, in the elements, you're on the road. How do you get the mojo back?
Well, one thing is to remember that as an offensive player, you have a much better idea.
And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by the corner, Bradley Roby. And the Saints will have the football as this is the 30. Winston and the Saints now with a 1st and 10 at the 31-yard line. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. Gets this to a standout receiver, Thomas. It'll go down as a gain of 6, and it'll be 2nd down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
To throw again on 2nd down. Winston. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
It's a tried-and-true formula, and I don't think it'll change for as long as we play football. If someone's trying to throw the ball and you can put pressure on them and make it tough, that's only going to help your defense.
Yeah, he's since being hurried. He got rid of it before taking the hit, but incomplete. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. He's got his first catch here before halftime, and it goes for a 1st down.
Throw and catch right there, and so far in this game, the alleys have been open for them to get completions, and they're taking advantage of it.
On 1st and 10, Winston. Looking for Alvin Kamara on the slant. And he's going to be taken down at the 28-yard line.
One of my old teammates called me the other day when he was watching the game. He's like, man, trying to watch an NFL game and trying to account for their passing game, that's difficult. And just when you think you get everything covered, here comes a back out of the backfield. And in this case, he picks up a 1st down.
Well, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. It's Cameron Dantzler who picks it. And the Vikings are going to get the football here at their own 23. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. He's got a man. Complete. Touchdown. Justin Jefferson. 77 yards. And the Vikings get a late score here, the final minute of the 1st half. The way this one was going, you just got the sense they needed something before half. They've at least got something on the board now. Still trailing, but a good sign.
That takes me back to our preseason tour of NFL camps. You remember we talked with that one coach who said his emphasis this year was scoring in the last 2 minutes of a half, heading into the locker room. This hits it right there. Take that momentum, take that good feeling, and take the locker room, regroup, and start over. They got it here.
They did indeed. A lot of football, a full half to be played. Now he's back out there to boom this one away, maybe with some frustration after the PAT miss. And this will not be returned. It's a touchback, and they'll begin at the 25. The Saints offense going to head out now late in this 1st half. And with a 2-score lead already, they may just look to get this thing to the locker room. Winston now to throw on first down. Targeting Thomas on the out route, making the catch. Finding room at midfield. Still going. Now we'll get a quick timeout called by New Orleans, number 2. Six ticks to go in half number 1. Well, that didn't take long. One play, and we're already looking at a first and goal situation. Here's Winston. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete.
You can't be precise with your throws, especially in this situation. You're inside the 10-yard line going into the end zone. But sometimes the emotion, the excitement, sometimes the decisions just aren't made very well because of that.
Another shot from the 9 on second and goal. Winston. To the sideline. Wow, what a catch. Doesn't get a lot out of it, but he is able to keep the feet in bounds. Only able to pick up 2, and that leads us to third and goal. Winston. Touchdown, Saints. Jarvis Landry as the first half is winding down. Will extend their lead here just before halftime. Lutz with the extra point, and the lead is up to 18 now. The drive summary, 4 plays, 75 yards. So not much time to speak of remaining in this first half as the kick's away. This one taken just inside the 10. And he brings us out past the 20 to the 24. Justin Jefferson and the rest of this offense, they've got their helmets back on, and they're ready for this next series. There's a lot of talk in training camp about him getting off to a hot start this year, saying that they needed that. Well, he's done it through the first month.
It kind of reminds me of one of those great musical groups where one person has their name out front, then they have the backups, right? He's the guy out front because the backups, they're doing what they're supposed to be doing, but we're going to the headline. Easily done because you know all the defenses are kicking towards him right now. That means he's fighting his way through traffic, finding ways to get open, even when he's not supposed to be.
Not wanting to take a chance this time, they'll keep it on the ground. And he'll push forward here for a good little run as the clock continues to run. And this offense going to elect to burn a timeout with 5 seconds remaining in quarter number 2. Final play of the half. Cousins got an open man finding Jefferson. And he will have a Vikings first down, and he was able to get it by plenty. A gain of 8 on 3rd and 3. And we'll jump right over halftime and keep the game going here in Week 4. Second half kickoff ready to go. Welcome back. Halftime over. We are ready for quarter number 3. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. As they say here in London, all to play for as we are back underway in the second half. And the tackle going to be made right there at the 25-yard line. There's a glimpse of Justin Jefferson, the wide receiver, as he and the Minnesota Vikings return back here on offense. And I know that they've double-teamed him a couple times, but not a ton. Whatever they're doing isn't working. He's up over 100 yards. We'll see how they adjust.
And when they do that, they weaken their defense in other places as well. And how many times have we done games where we've seen a guy have a big game like this, but it's usually not by himself, is it? Usually it opens it up for other people to have big games as well.
And spins away. And he gets this up across the 35 before he's out of bounds. That one, a first down pickup of 8.
Running lanes run a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
Following the good run by Cook, here's another 1st and 10. A handoff as they run the counter play. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. Marcus Davenport brought him down, the UTSA product. On 2nd and 12, Cousins. And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off by Marshawn Lattimore. And the Saints are going to take possession of the football.
Big reason why this team has struggled to put points on the board so far, because too many of their drives have ended in turnovers already, and we still have almost a full half of football yet to play.
Following the interception, Winston. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And they're going to get this down to about the 37. Only needing 2 yards on 2nd down. A 10th carry for Kamara. And they'll be inside the 35 now at the 34-yard line. They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a first down. They run it again with Kamara. And nothing much materializing there on the first down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it.
Well, any lane that might have been open there was closed pretty quickly, and that was because the defensive front, they won that battle at the point of attack at the line of scrimmage. They used great leverage, helped their spot, and stacked him up.
Landry, agile footwork. Touchdown, New Orleans! Jarvis Landry, his 3rd touchdown of the game and 5th on the year, as his guys are able to push that lead out a bit further. Lutz good on the extra point, and they open the lead up now to 25. Just a 4-play drive that time. And it's Jarvis Landry who finishes it off with a touchdown reception. A fairly short kick from the 14. And he takes this near the 25. Just a little pass there. Call it the 26. And now out comes Minnesota. Well, we haven't exactly been treated to a nail-biter in this one, CD. And if they cannot score here, this one's pretty much all but over.
Are you saying that you feel like people are starting to think about getting out of here, maybe beating the traffic in order to get home or to their final destination?
Well, yeah, I don't think there's a whole lot of reason to hang around, especially if they can't score it here.
Yeah, you're right about that, because it has been pretty clear who the better team has been in this one. And in a league that we talk about every game being a one-score game as we go into it, watching this blowout, let's just say it's been unusual.
And we got an injury here. And I believe, yes, that's the wideout, Adam Thielen. A good gain on first, has him set up with 2nd and just a couple of inches now from the 29. Left side, Cook gets around him. And he's out of bounds as he gets this down to the 45. 7 yards there and a first down. And here comes throw number 1 for the backup QB. Into a sea of defenders and intercepted. Picked off by Marshawn Lattimore. And the Saints are going to take possession here at their own 33. Well, they definitely figured out something defensively at halftime, Charles. That's now 2 drives and 2 interceptions here in this 3rd quarter.
And I think the easy thing for us to say is, boy, they made an adjustment, didn't they? Or they showed him something different. I'm not so sure it's that as much as maybe he's just been impatient and forced the ball a little bit. In any event, as you noted, back-to-back interceptions thrown.
He's still on his feet, and he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he gets all the way down inside the 20-yard line. From the red zone now, Winston. They'll set up the screen now to Kamara. And he gets this inside the 10 to the 9. It's also a gain of 9.
And good yardage there on first down, because sometimes all you need to do on the screen is get one key block. That might set your man free, and that was pretty good pursuit to the football defensively, or it could have gone for more.
This is caught. Touchdown! Jameis Winston with his fourth touchdown pass of the afternoon. And the Saints take the interception on defense and convert it into 6 points. Boy, he has been fun to watch throwing the football in this one. And certainly not fun for that defense, though, Charles. Now up to 4 touchdown passes in this ball game.
Yeah, we're supposed to be neutral, but I'm feeling their pain right now because he has absolutely carved up the secondary. A clinic on how to attack the defense and take them out of the game.
Lutz with the extra point, and the lead grows even larger here in the third quarter. So they only needed 3 plays on that drive. And it was Chris Olave who finished things off with a touchdown.
Freaking out of bounds.
So now the possession will begin at the 35 after the errant kickoff.
Well, that's certainly one way to avoid a dangerous kick returner, I suppose, but you are giving up extra yardage, that's for sure. Because if you put it out of the end zone, they start at the 25. So at a minimum, you're giving up 10 yards to the offense.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. Now a give running right, it's Cook. And he'll be out of bounds up near the 45 at the 44. 4 yards the gain, and it'll bring up a third down. They are in need of 6 yards here if they hope to move the chains. On third down, he'll drop to throw. And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. That time, multiple defenders getting pressure, and it's a loss of 6.
It's been a tough one all game long for this offensive line. They're already down big. And now you know they're just going to come after the quarterback in a big way, don't you?
Yeah, they just can't get out of their own way right now. It's created an avalanche, and an avalanche is coming right on top of them. They're going to try and throw. And it's going to be batted down. It will go the other way with the football. Boy, a real head-scratcher there. And the Saints are going to get it back and in great shape. They'll run out of the gun with Kamara. And an excellent job of finding the opening as he's got this now all the way down to the 22. 130 yards for him on the ground now as he has been terrific here this afternoon. And as they come to the line, they will not be able to get off. Welcome back now here in London. And this is a blowout so far as we get set for the fourth quarter. A very one-sided affair. And he takes it down to the 10-yard line. A solid pickup of 12 yards, and now they're knocking on the door. Try to pound it in, Kamara. They'll say no gain on the play, and it'll be second and goal. Again, it's Kamara. And he will maneuver his way down to about the 7. It's a pickup of 3, but still a little work to do on third and goal. Working out of the gun, Winston. That's complete to Troutman, right side. And he'll get this down inside the 5 to the 4 before he's out of bounds. Winston to the sideline here on fourth down, and Will Lutz gets set for a New Orleans field goal try. From the right hash here, should be an easy one. The kick by Lutz is good, and that will extend their lead even further. Well, ultimately not really sure that they're going to need those 3 points, but they'll take the 3 and they pad that lead.
Yeah, this one's already wrapped up, but you and I both know if you're an offensive coordinator, you never let up on the gas unless the head coach tells you to do so. And maybe you've actually clicked him off in your headset so you can keep calling plays and trying to add to this lead.
Minnesota's offense takes over possession. Where we stand right now in the fourth quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things with this ball game, but the self-inflicted wounds, they've had several turnovers. You would have to think that's going to be something they're going to discuss heavily in the film session in the coming days.
You're absolutely right about that, partner, because they're going to have to sit in that film room and watch every error that they made and figure out how to not do it in the future. And mentally, I think a lot of the guys are already starting to think about, okay, how do we put this behind us and get better for the next time out? This, they'll use as motivation for the rest of the time that they play to hopefully never be in this type of situation again.
And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete.
They lead big, and a major part of that has been how they've taken their play to a whole new level this second half. No points allowed since the break. And
the Saints pressure gets him. Brought down for a sack. Marcus Davenport able to record his 5th sack of the season.
Well, we all know this quarterback had to spend plenty of time studying prior to the game, but he has to be tired of seeing these guys, especially him. 3rd time now he's brought this quarterback down. Whole defense has had a great game, but 3 sacks, not hard to find who one of the leaders of that effort was.
3rd and 19, no problem, as they're able to convert. 2 first downs have them up near midfield now on 1st and 10. Bullock's throw complete to Rager. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work this to the 45. 2nd and 3. And that's complete to K.J. Osborne. And this is going to be another first down as the tackle's made at the Saints' 29-yard line. Back to throw again. Oh, he dropped it. And that's pretty indicative of the way this one's gone. Here's 2nd and 10 now from the 29. They'll look to throw again. Now he drops it incomplete. And their struggles continue here.
And that's another play that's painted the picture of this game overall. It's been a blowout. It's been continually fueled by big turnovers and stops for one side and an inability to advance the ball from the other.
They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. He's got his man, T.J. Hackinson. And he will have a Vikings first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. Coming up to the line, and they will need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Mullins. And just not enough on the throw there. Down around his feet and incomplete.
At this point in the game, they've got to continue to try anything they can. They're still working at it, even though this one feels like a lost cause.
From the pistol, they run it with Cook. And here he'll get it down to the 7. 4 yards the gain, and it'll bring up a 3rd down. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So the Vikings in possession of the football as we get you reset. They face a 3rd down now as they try to find a late score. They're going to look to throw. And it's intercepted at the goal line. It's the Honey Badger, Tyrann Mathieu. And they will finally get him down as he's all the way to the 36-yard line.
Well, with this advantage, this defense knew that passes were coming, and they stayed in position, Charles, and picked one off here in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, what a way to cap things off, huh? Because I think this is part of the game within the game. They see the scoreboard, they see what they can accomplish, and they went for it.
5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5. A man who's been busy busy this afternoon. It's Kamara again. The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts as it comes with 1:04 left to go in the game. Throwing, Winston. And they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals.
But not much defensive resistance on that drive. And really, Charles, the way this offense has been humming, they haven't faced much defensive resistance the entire game.
Yeah, I think it's safe to say that one team, their defense did not wake up and make it to the stadium for this one. There may be some major changes on that side of the ball when we see them the next time out.
Lutt's good on the extra point. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to that big lead. After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. And from back there, a wise move. He'll just sit on this one, and it'll come out to the 25. And now out comes Minnesota.
We said it at halftime that they would need a nearly perfect second half to erase that deficit that they were facing, CD. But unfortunately, the second half has pretty much been a carbon copy of the first.
Yeah, that early lead was almost insurmountable the way their opponent was playing. And, partner, they do have some good news, though. This one is getting close to being over, and they can try and hit the reset button starting tomorrow.
And this one is incomplete.
I like the thought process there. They connected on a big play, and sometimes you find the defense vulnerable. So they went for the bigger shot, went for it all on that one. This time, they were ready for it.
Now Cook running right. And he'll be out of bounds, able to get it down to the 25 there. He'll get only 3 there, so it leaves him with a 3rd and 7 ahead.
So 7 yards from the first down here as they come up to the line of scrimmage.
Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. On the move to his left. Catch is made by Hockenson, the tight end. And he'll go out of bounds in the red zone just inside the 20.
So from the 17 now, here's a 1st and 10.
From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. Flush to his right. Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
That incompletion brings us one step closer to the end of this one. Maybe mercifully, partner. And let's face it, though, no surprise, they're still flinging it around. They have pride, too.
One final shot. They'll look to throw. And that will be incomplete. They were going for a consolation TD, but it was not to be. And time has run out now on this game.
In this game, it was well in hand early, never really in doubt, Charles.